So, this was a question asked to me about the Chaitra Navratri. I was asked, what is the significance of Chaitra Navratri? The person said they don't even know that something like this existed because they're in south of India. And they did not know in North India it is actually a festival. While I was looking at it, I just realized that all the festivals that we are having are just reduced to celebration. We're just so bored with life, we want something new to happen. But it's a foolish thing, we still want something new to happen outside only. So our whole attention goes on celebrating rituals, doing this and that. You know, the fundamental reason of having a festival was not even celebration. This whole idea of celebration has come because there is a deficit of understanding of culture. Everybody starts to feel that now it is Holi, this will happen. Now it is Navratri, this will happen. But nobody sees. Last year also I did the same thing. But what has it changed in me? All our festivals were fundamentally designed for inner transformation. That is the richness of the culture. Our culture understood that unless there is an inner transformation, outer prosperity is hollow. There is nothing substantial within us to even enjoy the outer prosperity unless something inner, the inner richness, is achieved. So, our culture, our forefathers who brought this culture, noticed that the growth of the culture is not dependent on just external prosperity. We know that there is too much external prosperity, what will happen? The whole culture, the whole society starts to sink in many different ways, mentally, emotionally, crime. Today, what's happening is not that we don't have culture, there is a cultural knowledge deficit. We don't have that knowledge. So, this culture without knowledge is useless. So, what if you don't know Navratri? And so, what if you know Navratri? So, what if you're not celebrating it? And so, what if you are celebrating it? What does it change in you? It changes nothing. In our culture, we understood life from a very different perspective, or rather, from a very deep perspective. We understood life not as something which is happening outside. What we do, our activities. We understood life as a happening, as a rhythmic happening, as Prakriti. Because we know yoga, we don't see things exclusively. We see things inclusively. We know yoga. We know that yoga or oneness is a very fundamental truth of life. What's happening in Prakriti is not different from what's happening in you, and what's happening in you is not different from what's happening in Prakriti. This change, this movement, this rhythm, this layer of life is what we call as a layer of Shakti. And layer of Shakti is fundamentally of two types. One, which moves outwards, and another, which withdraws. The one which moves outwards with the force of integration, with the force of expansion. It expands to experience. And the second form of Shakti is that which goes within, withdraws, disintegrates, and settles. So these two forces are not happening just within us, they are happening even outside of us. In this time of the first half of the year, the force of integration of Shakti and expansion is happening. That's expansion to its peak, is what we call as a spring. And when the Shakti expands further in the second half of the year, it slowly touches a peak where it starts to withdraw. The maximum withdrawal is that which happens during Mahalaya. Slowly from there, it is held in a stabilizing awareness within us and also in a stabilizing Shakti around, which we call as Lakshmi, which happens exactly during Deepavali. What is Lakshmi? Today we know Lakshmi only as the goddess for prosperity. The real form of Lakshmi, nobody knows. The real form of Lakshmi is that which is a stabilizing Shakti. It becomes sthira. So that sthira Shakti, the sthira tattva of the Shakti, is that centering of the Shakti is called Lakshmi. That's what happens during Deepavali. Then from Deepavali, when the Shakti becomes sthira, in that heightened state, slowly, when it gets held in that state, just around and during Mahashivratri happens the descendance of grace, where it is said that the Shiva Tattva descends down. When the Mahashivratri comes, the time when this Sthira Shakti is ready to be received by grace. This is a time of ultimate oneness by Shakti peaking and completing its cycle. This cycle of Shakti integrating, expanding, peaking up, withdrawing, and becoming sthira in its ultimate peak nature, and hence waiting in that state for the grace to descend so that some completion can happen or ultimate completion can happen. This is one cycle of Shakti. So when the cycle is completed, we say 1 year is completed. When the cycle restarts, we say the next year has restarted. So the time of Shakti's phase starting is Chaitra Navratri, and when the Shakti starts to withdraw, that second Sandhya or second time is called Shardiya Navratri. So these two Navratris are just two major changes happening in this phase of Shakti. That's why we celebrate this Navratri.